Today we're looking at the tail end of a Lexus GX460 to talk about why it's got that weird side swinging rear door on this thing. What's going on with that? Believe it or not, there's a somewhat logical explanation for it.
Time bonus!
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to go over a common question, which is why does this Lexus GX460 have such a weird rear door? Most SUVs have the door open upwards like that, like a minivan. This one swings out. It's been called a barn door, and it just swings out. It's kind of weird, right? Well, there's a somewhat logical explanation for that, but in order to understand that, we first have to understand what this vehicle actually is. And the Lexus GX460 is none other than an Americanized or American version of the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. That's what this thing is. This is just the American market. They tweaked a few things before they brought it over here to be suitable for the American market. One of those things is they put a body kit on it to match the quote-unquote Lexus design language, bunch of plastic essentially. But the other thing they did was kind of delete part of the whole purpose of that funny door that we're going to talk about today. And you probably already know where I'm going with this, but if not, let's get straight to it. The door swings open like this in order to mount a spare tire that's mounted on the back of the door. The vehicle, which this is in the world market, the Land Cruiser Prado, has the swinging hatch, the swinging hatch rear, and it has a spare tire carrier on the rear door. And that is to facilitate people who off-road the vehicle. It's to help facilitate their ease of access to the spare tire versus putting it underneath the car, such as what we eventually end up here with in America. So in a nutshell, that's why it swings out. It's a swing out door because of the original design intention was to mount an easily accessible spare tire for off-roaders. Overseas, there's two trims of the Land Cruiser Prado. One has that spare tire carrier on the back door, and one does not, and it looks pretty much the same as this. So in essence, Lexus had to come up with a game plan when they decided to bring this to America. And that is, do we keep that off-road utility by having the spare tire in the rear? Or do we make it match the design language, which of course is what they ended up going with. Nobody knows what the thought process was for sure, but we can assume that it was to keep a cleaner look and in order to appeal to again, matching the design language of the rest of the American Lexus lineup. So basically, they made an aesthetic choice to not have the rear tire carrier and instead have it look flat like this. Now then begs the question, why then does it still swing open like that? You know, if they're not going to put a spare tire on this thing, why not go ahead and put like a 4Runner, a hatch that goes up and down like that? It's the same thing, right? Kinda, but not so. The body, believe it or not, of the Lexus GX460 is different from the 4Runner body. So they can't just grab a 4Runner hatch and or back door, whatever you want to call it, and put it on the back of this and have it open up like a hatchback. The bodies are physically and structurally different, even though the GX460, Prado, and 4Runner all virtually share the same underpinnings or same frame. The bodywork is different. So Lexus at their Japanese factory, and this is made in the same factory as the Land Cruiser Prado, same factory in Japan. They basically have two doors to choose from. Or Lexus and Toyota would have to choose to make a special door just for the American market that opens up like that. And that, who knows why they chose not to do that. That's just their call. So the answer to that question of why this door opens weird is really kind of both practical and weird at the same time, because it had a use, but we don't really get it here in America. We don't get the rear tire carrier, but we still have the underpinnings of that rear tire carrier. So this door, biologically speaking, is a vestigial organ in the context of Toyota and Lexus vehicles. You know, like vestigial organs such as your tonsils, your wisdom teeth, your appendix, male nipples, things that had a use in the past, but as they evolved or changed down the road, they were no longer necessary, but yet the tracings of them are still there. So that's kind of what this is. Again, this vehicle is in the same type of off-road spirit as the Jeep Wrangler, which has a swing out with the spare tire in the back, as well as the Mercedes G-Wagon that also has a swing out with the rear tire on the back. Same concept, same idea, easy access, rear tire. We didn't get it, but that may answer your question of why the door is so weird. If you found this information helpful or the least bit interesting, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you, and have a great, great day.